Hey everyone, Adam here again with another RimWorld guide. People have been coming into the stream and asking about the different difficulties and what each one changes with the game. So I decided to make this quick RimWorld guide to tell you about the 6 different difficulties that currently exist in RimWorld. Alright, so let's get right into it. RimWorld has 6 different difficulties ranging from peaceful to losing is fun. Each difficulty setting can also be customized to tailor the experience to your liking. I'll go over the parameters for the easiest difficulty, peaceful, and then show you the differences between that and the other 5. The first set of parameters each difficulty will adjust are threats. On peaceful difficulty, the threat scale is set to 10% by default, meaning that if there were any threats, they would only have 10% of the strength of a normal difficulty event. Major threats such as raids, infestations, mechanoid attacks, and man-hunting animals are disabled on peaceful. Quests that are offered to you will not have violent conditions, such as raids or having to attack into an enemy stronghold. The normal intro quests, such as a single angry animal, will also not occur on peaceful. Speaking of animals, on peaceful difficulty, you won't have to worry about predators getting hungry and hunting your colonists. In addition to this, you'll always have weather within the listed average temperature of your map. You'll not have to worry about things like toxic fallout or volcanic winters. The second set of parameters are economy based. On peaceful, you'll be getting 20% more plant harvests and mining yields. You'll also be researching things 20% faster. You don't have to worry about traders jacking up their prices, and your defensive turrets are 50% cheaper to rearm. Lastly, the enemy pawns you down will be 50% less likely to instantly die, allowing you to more easily steal their equipment or imprison them and maybe recruit them. There's also a set of general parameters for each difficulty, which aren't able to be categorized by the other two. On peaceful, you'll be getting a plus 10 mood boost at all times on all of your colonists so that it's easier to keep them happy. Your pawns will also be 70% less likely to get food poisoning than normal, and about the same reduced chance at getting diseases in general. You also won't have to worry as much about animals fighting back if you decide to attack a normally aggressive creature. In addition to this, you don't have to be as careful with your firearms, as the chance of friendly fire is reduced by 60%. Lastly, regardless of the map you choose to play on, it will not contain any ancient dangers or bug hives. As far as the player tools section goes, those are all readily available regardless of your difficulty, but if you're feeling a bit adventurous, you could turn off things like traps in order to increase the difficulty. I will explain adaptation and wealth independent mode in other guide videos, but for now just know that by default the game increases in difficulty relative to your colony's wealth, unless you turn on wealth independent progress mode, which will make it so the game continuously gets harder the longer you survive, regardless of your wealth. The other 5 difficulties after peaceful are Community Builder, which adds in your first major threats like raids, quest threats, etc. Adventure Story, which opens you up to more animal attacks as well as extreme weather. Strive to Survive, which is RimWorld's version of a normal difficulty, sort of how the game was made to be played, so to say. Blood and Dust, which ratchets the difficulty quite a bit higher than the previous tier. And finally, Losing is Fun, which is RimWorld's most challenging standard difficulty, and quite a bit harder than Blood and Dust. To see the exact percentages of what changes from one difficulty to the other, simply click the Custom bubble on the difficulty select screen, then scroll down and click the Set Standard Playstyle button. You can then look through all the various stats below there. This is also where you can customize, as the name suggests, each individual part of the difficulty. So, for instance, if you want the hardest raids and events possible, you could put the threat slider all the way to 500%, which is more than twice as hard as Losing is Fun. On the flip side of this, you could also make it so you have super fast research and no disease. Also, you may have noticed the option between Reload Anytime mode and Commitment mode. With Commitment mode, you have a single save file that is constantly updating, so you can't reload your game from a previous state. So, for instance, if you have a raid go very badly and want to reload and try it again to see how you do, You can't do this with commitment mode and will want to make sure you start your game in reload anytime mode instead. The last thing I wanted to mention is that you can change the difficulty at any time during your gameplay. To do this, just click on the icon in the very bottom right of your game, then choose Options. In here, you'll want to click Storyteller Settings towards the bottom middle. Now in the new menu, you can change your difficulty, the customized sliders we were talking about, and even your storyteller. Alright, and that does it for this RimWorld guide about difficulties. Hopefully you know what each difficulty now does and how to custom tailor it for your kind of playstyle. If you like this guide and want to see more, make sure to comment down below, like the video, and subscribe. It helps out a ton. A special thanks this time for my first 2 ever patrons over at patreon.com/AdamVersusEverything. And as always, thank you for watching.